Morning, everyone, and welcome to the Rockingham County Board of Commissioners meeting of December 5th, 2024. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Here in the conference room, we have Commissioner Cherichello, myself, Commissioner Godu, and on Zoom, we have Commissioner Kate Coyle.
Good morning.
And Commissioner-elect Tom Tombarello.
Good morning.
Who's still officially a member of the public, but we're welcome to have him joining us to our meetings. All right. I'm ready to move forward with motions.
Okay, first motion would be to authorize the Senior Director of Facilities, Planning and IT to review, evaluate the proposals and return with a recommendation.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on this motion? Commissioner Cherichello?
Yes.
Commissioner Coyle?
Yes.
And I vote yes. All right, fire alarm testing.
I make a motion to award the proposal for fire alarm testing to Impact Fire for an amount not to exceed $18,500 plus the stated rates for all other work that may be assigned for the period of November 1st, 2024 through October 31st, 2025, as recommended by the Senior Director of Facilities, Planning and IT.
Second,
Any discussion on this motion?
just that it was the lowest bid and someone we've worked with before.
Commissioner Coyle?
Yes.
Commissioner Cherichello?
Yes.
I vote yes.
Thank you.
Award of the vehicle lift.
I make a motion to award the proposal for vehicle lift to Mohawk Lifts LLC for an amount not to exceed $37,320.77 as recommended by the Senior Director of Facilities, Planning and IT.
Second,
Any discussion on this proposal?
it is under budget and it will help save the county money overall. So good investment.
All right, Commissioner Cherichello?
Yes.
Commissioner Coyle?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
Thank
All right,
you.
move on to the consent agenda. Meeting minutes.
Yes, I make a motion to approve the November 14th, 2024 public and non-public minute meetings and the November 21st, 2024 public and non-public meeting minutes.
Second,
Any discussion on the minutes?
look good to
Okay,
me.
Seeing none, they look good to me. Commissioner Coyle?
Yes.
Commissioner Cherichello?
Yes.
And I vote yes. All right, we have an agency nursing staff report. Just for informational purposes, anybody like to start this? Like Chantel, do you have anything to say about the staffing report?
No, I think that we've, continued to work and have conversations, to be able to continue to lower some of the numbers. I still am trying to compare to September. I know that they sent me the report. I was just curious to kind of have that ballpark, so I will happily share that once I have a chance to kind of reconcile it. The numbers did appear lower though at first glance than back in September, from when I initially started. And I know that there's been a lot more movement since HR did the Indeed apply. So that has been wonderful as well. We've also had a lot more individuals kind of approaching us about joining and having conversations that way. So I think, a lot of forward momentum on our side to be able to continue to work through our agency reduction, which is the top goal for us.
Awesome.
No, things are heading in the right path. I'm really happy to see that. Continue to do the great work that you all do, and looks like we're making strides. So, congrats.
Commissioner Coyle? Anything?
Same thing, just
Yeah.
making things, we're doing well. Just continue to move forward.
I agree. Okay, we have a fitness center equipment purchase update. Allison, you have something on this for us?
Yeah, this is for the new building. As you know, we worked with the sheriff's office and it will be for everybody, that fitness center. And this is the second wave of equipment. We kind of cut it in two with the Cigna Wellness funds from last year. And now we have the Cigna Wellness funds that we're going to utilize for that. and we were able to increase the Cigna funds this year in the budget from Cigna. So we'll still have 20,000 for all of the county to use for the remainder of this year. But we're gonna purchase that stuff, and get it over into storage and, move along. So when you're ready to get that over and the building's complete, all of that will just go right into the building right away.
All right, it looks good, all looks good to me. Commissioner Chercello, anything on this?
No, the only thing is, if I was gonna stay, I would requested a, Stairmaster, but I don't see, is there a Stairmaster on it?
We have, yeah, we have two items that we're not purchasing now because they're warranty driven and we want to wait till the close
Okay,
to the end, so that warranty will be in service for when it gets installed.
yeah, the Stairmasters will work the cardio up pretty well, but anyway, no, it looks good.
Commissioner Coyle?
I've got nothing. I think it's
Okay.
great.
Great. Good use of those funds. All right, payroll.
I make a motion to approve the payroll expense in the amount of $1,697,298.87 for the period ending November 30th, 2024.
Second,
Any discussion on these payroll expenses? They're higher than usual. We received the explanation detailing why.
and just for if I could speak to that, Commissioner
Sure.
Godu, I was just gonna say it's payout, there's holiday payouts, holiday bonuses, just end of the year wrap ups that are consistent. You know, we see this annually.
Familiar with what the longevity pay is. How do we calculate that?
It's based on years of service. So 5, 10, 15, it goes up that way.
And they get a bonus.
They get a certain amount based on their years of
The longer you
service.
stay, the more you typically get.
And that is budgeted in the
Longevity.
budget cycle. Chuck and I look at who's gonna hit their longevity marks, and Chuck aligns that to each of the department's budget in the budget cycle.
So is that like every 5 years? Or every year,
It's no, when you hit your mark,
when you hit the mark,
correct?
which is 5, 10, 15, yeah, okay, great. Thanks for that
Yeah, no problem,
explanation.
no problem.
I have no further comment on this. Commissioner Coyle,
Yes,
Commissioner Chercello,
Yes,
and I vote yes. All right, Commissioner updates. Commissioner Coyle,
I have a funny anecdotal story. Well, not so funny. This past week, I got a call from the Rockingham County Sheriff's Department saying that there was a warrant for my arrest for failing to attend federal jury duty. And I was like, that's curious. The concern was actually in the course of it that the person identified themselves as Kevin Walsh and was like very sort of aggressive and was like, my badge number is this. So I know I talked to the sheriff and I know it was like it's put out there on social media, but for anyone who didn't go to the sheriff's website but tunes into for all 6 people attending the Board of Commissioners meetings, just be aware there's a lot of these scams going around. It's not just the sheriff's department, it's a lot of police departments. And if something doesn't feel right, call over to the department directly, hang up, call over. And actually it's kind of consistent, some of the phishing with all the training that the IT training and cybersecurity training that Robin has us do. It's like really pays off. So bringing it full circle. I did not have a warrant.
I wish you would.
Congratulations.
I wish you had said this last week, because I ended up paying $50,000 to stay out of jail.
Totally different issue.
All right, Commissioner Chercello, you have any update for
I
us?
don't.
I don't have anything today.
There is something on the internal agenda.
Yep, we're gonna make a motion next,
Okay.
right? All right,
Okay.
Commissioner, would you?
Yep, I make a motion to award earned time to the following individuals: MM 4 hours, CE 4 hours, KM 8 hours, RM 8 hours.
Second,
Do we have any discussion on this?
I don't have anything to add. I think we discussed this last week. It was really kind of a matter of fairness, so to these individuals. So I think we're just trying to make them whole.
And this problem is being solved moving forward by having a
Yes.
little bit clearer explanation on the request for travel training on when employees will be returning to work from whatever conference they're attending. So on the motion, Commissioner Coyle,
Yes.
Commissioner Chercello,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. All right, Finance Department, Harvey Construction Accounts Payable Warrant.
I make a motion to approve the December 5th, 2024 accounts payable warrant T 250623 payable to Harvey Construction Corporation in the amount of $3,716,036.25 as recommended by the Senior Director of Facilities, Planning and IT and Senior Director of Finance.
Second.
Second, any discussion on this warrant payment? Commissioner Coyle? Commissioner Church? Yeah,
Are
excuse
we
me.
voting
No, I'm sorry. I'm inviting you to,
for discussion?
for discussion.
I guess, so obviously I support the warrant. Some of the requisition that I talked to Chuck about, which he kindly explained, was because we've run up on the identified items from ARPA, so we're moving some of that over to the bond, which is, if we draw off the bond, is actually a good thing in the overall scheme. We have all the support for the winter conditions. Hopefully it stays mild today, excluding today, which is a little unpleasant.
Nothing else.
I think, to me, one thing I'd like to speak to is the overall, how things are going in the global sense. And I know, like, we've all done tours and seen that it's so exciting to see sheetrock. I think that is really great, and windows and things like that, but we are on target with the timeline. In looking to be completed with the project in the first or second week of August at this point. Or the very end of the summer, early fall. The solar is on track to be done in March, I think. And with that, that's like, as Chuck was telling me, $3 million in credit savings for fiscal year 26. I just, on time and on budget is the theme that I'd like to highlight. And just such a great thanks to Jude and Chuck, and I mean, so many people working so hard to get this, to see the project going so smoothly at this stage of the game is just outstanding.
Commissioner Chercello,
Yeah,
anything?
I'll piggyback a little bit on that. I think that everything that Commissioner Coyle mentioned, I agree with. Not only did we get the $3 million credit back from the federal government, so if the solar was 10 and we get 3 million back, so technically the solar becomes $7 million, not 10, which is a huge savings. But on top of that, by the fact that if we get up online in March, that's another 3 months ahead of schedule. We plug in at that time, those revenues, that's just additional revenues coming in that gets generated. So, and then I was able to talk to John O'Connor the other day. He's one of the members that are on the delegation subcommittee meeting that meets with the building and meet with Jude and meet with Harvey Construction. I talked to him for a bit, and he was, he had everything nice to say about, everything is going extremely well. No hiccups, things, I mean, couldn't be any better. Not only the timing of the whole project, but the fact that we, the vendors have been, right there, and they know their stuff. Everybody's been really good at it. So kudos to everybody that's attached.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Chercello. I agree that the project is going very well. I took a tour a couple of weeks ago, and I'm pleased with everything, except I continue to be unhappy with the accounting of these payments. I have a question specifically on, we have Longchamps Electric has asked for a $50,000 contingency, and I'm curious to why we haven't taken a retainage on that. I don't know if anybody has any insight to that. It would be typical that we would take retainage. We take retainage on everything else that they're doing, and in this case, there was no retainage. I don't know if that was an oversight. Chuck, you want to say anything about that, or Jude?
I can follow it up for you, Commissioner. I don't have the answer for you right now.
Okay, very good. Also, I'll just note that my displeasure is really focused around, in this particular warrant, there's $22,000 worth of expenses that we have no receipts for. This contract is set up as a reimbursement of expenses, and according to the contract, Harvey Construction should be showing us back up that they actually, what was actually paid on these expenses, and they're consistently missing from these warrants, and that's why I'm against paying this. You guys have all heard this before,
2 years. But
creeping up on it. That's my opinion. All right, so if there's no other discussion, we'll move forward on the vote. Commissioner Coyle,
Yes.
Commissioner Cherichello,
yes,
and I vote no. Okay, we'll move on to new opera expenditure category. Did I miss something?
no, reallocation of funds.
Yeah, reallocation of funds.
I make a motion to approve the creation of a new opera project expenditure category 1.4. And further move to reallocate the remaining approved but unobligated $10,000 from expenditure category 1.1 to this new expenditure category, specifically for the purchase of additional personnel protective equipment as recommended by the Senior Director of Finance.
Second,
Any discussion on this transfer? Pretty mundane.
makes sense.
Commissioner Coyle,
Yes.
Commissioner Cherichello?
Yes.
And I vote yes. All right.
Thank you.
Fusion Medical Staffing amended rates.
I make a motion to approve the Fusion Medical Staffing Rate Sheet effective December 5th, 2024. Excuse me, and authorize the acting chair to sign all necessary documents as recommended by the Senior Director of Human Resources.
Second,
Any discussion on these rates? I think they went up a little bit.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
the good
Commissioner
news is
Coyle.
we're locking in overtime rates as the same rate as the standard rate, which is both good and bad. It means we're overpaying on the regular rate, but we're not going up on the overtime rate. I think the value in this is, I mean, the takeaway from this is, one, we need the contract, but two, going forward, you know, as we continue to try to reduce agency, hopefully these costs will go down.
Commissioner Cherichello, anything on this?
No.
Okay, so to the motion, Commissioner Cherichello,
Yes.
Commissioner Coyle,
Yes.
and I vote yes. Hazard pay, Department of Corrections.
I make a motion to approve implementing hazardous duty pay retroactively to September 22nd, 2024 for the Investigations and Safety Compliance Coordinator position as recommended by the Senior Director of Human Resources.
Second,
We have any discussion on this?
it was just an oversight in what it was we meant to allocate it originally.
Okay, Commissioner Coyle,
Yes.
Commissioner Cherichello.
Yes.
And I vote yes. Winter discount ticket program.
Yes, I make a motion to approve the employee discount ticket agreements for Pat's Peak and Gunstock Mountain Resort at no charge to the county for the 2024-2025 season and to authorize Allison Kevakowski, the Senior Director of Human Resources, to sign all necessary documents.
Second,
Any discussion on ski discounts for employees? Commissioner Cherichello,
Yes,
Commissioner Coyle,
yes.
and I vote yes. All right,
ski away.
holiday calendar discussion. The only thing that was seemed, I gotta find the paperwork. Seems we're still talking about Juneteenth. or-
Juneteenth. I mean, essentially, this is, shall we add Juneteenth to the 2025 calendar? It is a you know, court state recognized holiday. It is increasing, I think it is a federal holiday as well, and
It is.
I'd be inclined to add it. We were talking about this, we have been talking about this in the past year. I am of the opinion that we should add it to the 2025 holiday calendar. Since a lot of employees already have the day off, it makes sense to make it uniform and it's consistent with federal and state court holidays, which is what we typically follow.
Commissioner
I
Chercello?
mean, I'm just gonna, I think we talked about this early on, we all voted on it, but I mean, I don't feel comfortable, I'm not gonna be here, so to put it on a 2025 calendar, I'm just gonna abstain on this one.
Okay, I'm not happy with the concept of adding another holiday, but that wasn't our call. Federal government and the state government have agreed that this is a holiday, so it's a holiday, and I believe that we should extend it to everyone.
Just want to add,
Jason.
last negotiations with the officer contract, it was put in there as a holiday starting for next year, but not this calendar year. Just FYI, so you're seeing it in the union contracts already.
Yeah, I don't think that we can avoid this, so I'm perfectly in favor of it. We don't have a vote on it right now, but I think that you get the opinion of the board
I'll
to
bring it back
move
next
forward.
week to the calendars. Thank you.
Okay, great. All right, where are we?
Long-term care, travel and training.
Travel and training requests.
I make a motion to approve a travel and training request for the 3 long-term care services employees, BR, MMS, and KM to attend the 2025 Point Click Care Summit held March 31st, 2025 through April 2nd, 2025 in Las Vegas, Nevada, at an estimated total cost of $8,998.82 as recommended by the Senior Director of Long-Term Care.
Second,
Okay, discussion on this. I have some discussion on this. I'm a little bit confused with what the return date, but it's not on this. Obviously, we didn't have a new form. Did we do a new form yet for this?
No. I'm
We're
gonna
about
have
to.
Revamp the whole thing. It never occurred to me that each, if there are multiple attendees, they may be returning on different dates, so I'm
Right.
gonna have to read.
Okay, so,
Which is the
We're-
case in regards to this.
so we have 2 employees that are attending. And they seem to be returning at different times, and one is gonna take an earn time or, for an
Yeah.
extra day. I just wanna make sure that this is balanced out, that they're,
So the couple pieces that I'm still looking for clarification on in regards to it, and we have to look at too, is so the conference is for a length of time. 2 of the employees are looking to stay an extra day and use an earn time on their dime, so that extra time would be on theirs. The piece that I have been looking at with Elaine in it is, we would book the flight, and if the flight at the different date is more expensive, that difference would be their cost as well. But the conference itself is for, PCC is our entire electronic EMR, risk, et cetera, and we create that behind the scenes. So the 3 positions going represent our nursing, our PCC specialists, and our fiscal, as we're building out those pieces and looking at changes with regulations. But there are 2 employees that they're looking to extend 1 extra day earn time out there, but it would be any additional cost would have to be accrued by them.
and that's fine. So they all end up with the same amount of time dedicated to the conference.
Correct.
It's just that they've
If
extended
the 2 that want to
earn
stay that
time.
extra day, they would have to use their earn time for that day. And then when we do the flights, if there's a difference on the day being a Thursday versus a Friday flight, we would book it on the Thursday and they would have to pay to change for the difference. So I won't approve it if it's gonna add for that extra day at our cost. That difference would have to be their cost.
Okay, very good. You're on it. And I agree with the approach. Any other comments on this?
Yeah, so, should we have them fill out a new one after I create the new form with changes?
I would prefer, once you update the form, that we do a new form. If it's not too much trouble. Because I think we should start doing this. So, yes, that would be my preference. Commissioners, any other comments?
I just have a question. If we do a new form, do you want me to bring it through? Just as a discussion? Does that piece needed if it's approved now?
what I think we
that we can
do,
approve it today. Go ahead,
I
Commissioner
agree.
Doyle.
I think we can approve it today. We're approving it on the record. If what we could do is we can sign the form as is now. When you submit the new form, we don't need another motion, we can just attach it to the form we already signed, and if we need another signature, we can do that.
I agree with that approach. Commissioner Chercello, you'll good with that?
I'm fine, whatever you guys want to do.
Okay, very good.
Thank
So on the motion, Commissioner Coyle,
Yes.
Commissioner Chercello,
I'm gonna abstain, and the 4 years I've been here, I've never voted no on the training request, but I don't feel comfortable voting on something that's, 2025 that I'm not gonna be part of, so I'm gonna abstain.
all right, now I vote yes.
Thank you.
Motion passes. All right, Sheriff's Office. 2024 warrant entry team SWAT, and I don't know what SOU grant revision is. Commissioner Chercello, would you read
Oh,
that
sorry.
motion?
I make a motion to approve the revised 2024 New Hampshire Department of Safety warrant entry team grant agreement in the amount of $3,164.56, and authorize the acting chair to sign all necessary documents as recommended by the High Sheriff.
Second,
Any discussion on this?
11 cents. That's why.
Yeah, there was,
Oh,
when
this
the
is all
state
about
prepared their
11 cents error
paperwork,
that's
they had a small error that unfortunately resulted in having to resubmit and get all new signatures.
Okay, my only comment on it is that I still fail to get all of the acronyms that we use in government. I just would like to know what SOU stands for.
Special Operations Unit.
All right, thank you. Another one. I'll try to commit that to memory too.
Put that in here.
In the back of the gray matter. Okay, so on the motion, Commissioner Coyle,
Yes.
Commissioner Chercello.
Yes.
And I vote yes. All right, department head update. Do we start with Allison as usual?
Hi, Allison Kivakowski, Senior Director of Human Resources. We've just been very busy winding down some things through Cigna right now, and just doing a couple wellness initiatives, and we're just really busy. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Allison. Jason.
Now it's currently at 140. And a couple staff members returned from the leadership course for women in law enforcement, but I'll have somebody come next week to talk about that a little bit. Full boards here. Been working with Allison back and forth collaboratively on a couple of different things. It's been going well. And with Chantel as well, including meeting vendors for the RFP on food. A lot of stuff going on in the building with Drew's department, from our key boxes to fixing flooring. Rich came over yesterday, Jude's second in command, along with Josh and the foreman. We did a tour of some places to look at. We're gonna have probably a monthly meeting, monthly or bi-monthly at least, to come over and open those dialogues better and start working on some punch lists and stuff. So that's going really well. And hiring's going good, but on the flip side, the other issues that I have on some other sites also, there'll be people leaving as well. So we're balancing out. That's all I have.
All right, thank you, Jason. Chantel.
Chantal Draconin, Senior Director of Long-Term Care Services. Our census at the nursing home is 138. Our census at the assisted living is 47. We do have a plan to move in next week, which will bring us back up to 48. For COVID, we have no residents at the assisted living. We have one at the nursing home, and we have one staff member. Just general things, Winter Wonderland is in a couple weeks. It's coming along. If you haven't been through, Sam has slowly been doing different pieces of it, and the lights are on the tree. It looks beautiful. So really excited about that. Throughout the building, where, different Christmas, items are happening. So if you have time to walk around and see, and, give a kudos to the team that's working on it. They're working really hard. We recently had 2 different mock surveys, so we're working through kind of follow up on those to make sure compliance. Healthcare Service Group started the contract in the assisted living this week. So have been working, Sam and Kendra have been working on getting that up and running. Next week, I'll be going to 2 different county homes to look at some of their systems to help kind of us develop some of the systems here that are opportunities for us to help specifically from a financial component with supporting our families with Medicaid. So that will be happening with myself and some of my team next week. Other than that, CMS dropped 2 memos right before the holiday. One is 900 pages of changes in discussion. The other one is shorter. In fairness, a lot of the changes are more just clarifying different components but have been working through those and making sure compliance with that. Other than that, just really looking at different systems and continuing to do some of those evaluations.
Great. Thank you, Chantel. Leila, you have anything you'd like to share? Okay. In Zoom land, Sheriff Macias.
Good morning. I actually got a call from someone saying that I forgot to report the jury duty, and I had a warrant out for my arrest.
Intended to be you?
Oh yeah, on my cell phone. Yeah, so I was going to turn myself in, but I figured that I'd talk to myself and say, "Hey, is something going on?" No. To be serious, this scam is going everywhere, and our dispatch service last Friday had numerous calls about this warrant. So we're asking all of you if you guys are on your residence page or whatever. I've posted it on Salem and Londonderry that this is a scam, and please stop calling our dispatchers because they have enough work to do. On another note, nothing really is going on. I mean, we continue to be busy, but I just want to tell Commissioner Tom Tombarello and Commissioner Coyle that please bring back some warm weather because this cold stuff's really for the birds. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chuck. All right, Jude.
Good morning, everyone. Jude Gates, Senior Director of Facilities Planning and IT. All is well in facilities. We are also, like everyone else, very busy. This week, at the beginning of the week, we had stop lines painted in the Blaisdell parking lot, and I was happy to see that we were able to get it done before the snow flew. We had a hard time finding a vendor to take care of it, but we're hoping that it will help to alleviate some of the confusion. Some folks just don't know that they should stop when they get to the end of the row when they pull out and someone else is coming, and it can be problematic. So that was taken care of this week. We're feeling pretty good about it. We are busy in the jail. And we're also, we're busy everywhere, but I was very happy to send Rich and Josh down to meet with Jason. We have already a laundry list. Fortunately, we have now on staff 2 plumbers and 2 electricians. So we're hitting the backlog pretty hard, and it's nice to have a full staff, really nice. As far as the project goes, as noted, it's been moving along at breakneck pace. We did get the permit this week from DOT for the improvements that need to be made in the engineering and maintenance facilities parking lot. We have to close off that parking lot and rerun our water main. The only hitch to that is that Fish and Game is asserting their authority and requiring, because there's like 479 square feet of wetlands up closer to the tower. They're insisting that we do the work between April and March, so as not to disturb the birds or the turtles. It may be problematic. We're still trying to figure out how it's going to impact the schedule. It's like the crazy stuff that you just don't expect to have to deal with. We don't have our permit for well number 4 yet, but we're getting very close. The last round of data is being gathered now. There's transducers in the wells. They'll be pulling that information on the 16th, and hopefully it'll be the final round of data that needs to be sent up to the state for approval on that. Once that's approved, we'll be able to, or Harvey will be able to order the precast building that needs to go over it and start making preparations for the water lines and et cetera. It's had a little bit of effect on schedule, but as Commissioner Coyle noted, we're still looking really good for summer. I do think the most recent review of the schedule is showing a substantial completion of mid-ish July, and that is changed to the contract, so I'll be bringing that forward to the board. Just so it's just a time change order, but just so that you're aware of it. I think the contract was signed for June 30th, and now we're looking at like July 15th. So I'll bring that forward to you as soon as I have it. I don't think it's a big surprise to anyone. I mean, we've had all kinds of equipment issues. More than anything else, it's been equipment and permitting. So we still don't have a delivery date on the biggest air handler for DOC, for example. But everything's moving along, and I do expect it will come together, but I think we've had a few things that are going to set us back a little bit. But then again, as Chuck noted and Commissioner Coyle noted, we're way ahead on the solar, which is remarkable. Revision did an amazing job pulling that together. So we're feeling really good about that too. They started working on the fire line connection to the new building. There is, they have to go under North Road. They ran the main this week. They've been running up to the wastewater plant. You've probably seen all the work that's been happening. One day next week, they're going to have to shut off 2 of our fire hydrants, one on this side of the street and one on the admin building side of the street, to do the final connection. They can't do a live tap because of everything that's in the ground there. I'll notify the fire department. They're fine as long as we give them proper notice. So, yeah, everything's coming together. That's all I have today. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Jude.
Can I add something on that?
Jason?
Yep, so I just want to say, again, working collaboratively with Jude. As you know, my plan, I told you, is I'll go in a year after the building's open with my inmates and stuff, so I have it all, know what I'm doing. That being said, it gives Jude and I time to work on, because the jail needs a major upgrade with cameras and those kinds of things. Just I want to plant the seed now, talking to Jude. If things like our recordings don't go back far enough or need to be in compliance. Robin's been working on that, but our equipment is very old, so that's just letting you know it's going to be a major upgrade that's not going to be cheap, that we really need to take a hard look at, and Jude and I'll be working on that. So I just want to throw out there, Jude, just to lay the seed out there.
I had mentioned it to the board about a month ago, Jason. That's going to be the big job when the building is done. We have been really challenged with like 16-month lead time on touchscreens, and trying to deploy older equipment and hope that it's, the glitches we can work through. It's moderately serious at this point. Fortunately, the jail's been really comfortable. They can switch over to keys, and they have a little bit of elbow room as far as moving people around because they have a couple of empty blocks. But it's a real challenge, and it's definitely something we'll be looking at next year.
Skeleton keys?
Oh, yeah. Is that what we call turnkeys?
All right, we'll move on to Attorney Pat Conway.
Good morning, everybody. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Things are great here for the most part. We are busy. We're struggling a bit with our caseload just because we're down 3 attorneys right now. The good news is we just offered positions to 2 women for 2 of our open legal assistant positions. So we're going to get those filled, hopefully, pending our internal investigation. So that's the good news. We've been looking for, with all the video cam and the body cam and the cruiser cam that we're getting, we're researching different redaction type software so that we can redact things before sending them out as discovery and or playing videos during our jury trials. So Sheriff, I don't know if you have any of that. Do you guys have body cam or cruiser cam? No.
We do not.
So I know some departments already have that type of software. I know Ride Police Department has a really good one that we've seen because they send it to us redacted. But anyway, that's something we're kind of looking into. We might reach out to Robin about that as well. Also, just to give you an update, I did speak to Sarah Lindberry about potentially having some space here at the courthouse for some of my folks, as well as some storage space, because we have really big screen TVs that we use when we're in jury trial and suppression hearings and things like that with stands. I did not get too much information from her. She was going to do some research, let me know what, if any, space would be available and what we'd be looking at for cost. So I am working on that behind the scenes, and I'll report back with my request at some point regarding that particular issue. So that's pretty much all I have to report.
Great. Thank you, Pat. Chuck Nickerson, do you have anything?
Good morning, Chuck. Yes, hi. Good morning, Chuck Nickerson, Senior Director of Finance. Just commenting further on Pat mentioning about the courthouse lease. Sarah Lineberry also reached out because I guess technically we should have already been discussing an extension or renewal of the courthouse lease because it's going to expire the end of April. And I guess usually like 6 or 8 months before the expiration date, usually discussions go on with the state as far as terms for any renewal. So obviously I'd have to talk further to the commissioners I mean, I probably want a commissioner in on any call to the state as well. But I would think that we'd want to at least extend out to the end of August, and then have some sort of month-to-month terms. But that's just, my 2 cents on the matter. But they did call and leave a message. Unfortunately, it was actually last Monday when I was out, so I will have to get back to them about that. This past payroll was pretty rough. There was many different moving parts. Longevity actually seems like it was a little bit less dollar-wise than it normally is. It was $78,000, and again, that's longevity on just about all qualifying individuals except for the correctional officers. They actually get their longevity payments in basically the payroll that they hit their whatever anniversary, once they become qualifying, 5 years and greater for longevity payment. So, but for everyone else, we've been doing it in the first pay date of December. So 78,000 of that difference, or that increase, was because of longevity. We are experiencing, I guess, a delay in that energy efficiency community block grant, conservation block grant. If you might recall, some months ago, we were told that through a formula grant, we were going to get $242,600. I guess the Federal Department of Energy has had some issues with going through processes on their side. Unfortunately, one thing that they're saying is that they're not going to allow any expenses that will have occurred before the actual awarding of the grant that you can actually apply the grant funds to. So what's going to probably happen is that we'll have to be applying that amount of money for our formula, grant award, to actually being some of the work I think that like Eversource is doing that will be charged for the commissioning and whatnot at the end stages of the project. So it's unfortunate. We'll have to pivot a little bit. Also on the grant side, Molly the other day had a little information session about assistance to firefighters grant, AFG grants. And that's grants whereby local fire departments can apply to get monies towards their own PPE. Though, again, PPE takes a different meaning for firefighters and, as far as COVID protection gear. But so basically for PPE and other firefighting equipment, these grants can definitely help local area fire departments. And we did have attendance by Atkinson, Hampton, and Epping. And she's going to have another session on Friday. And I think there's at least hopefully 2 other towns that will be joining that. And the goal is for, unfortunately, these 3 towns that had applied in the past, unfortunately, they had not gone through to the end of actually getting approved, or they didn't qualify, or they qualified but money had run out. So the goal is that Molly can be resourced to hopefully get them through to that finish line and actually have them get successful awards. And so she actually might be doing some on-site visits to some of these fire departments to go with pertinent individuals to try to help them get there. And what would happen is that the county would have like a portion of an admin fee that'd be party to the grant, but would not take away from funds that the departments would be getting towards equipment. So it's just good news that, again, this position, is able to help some of those other communities within Rockingham County, have access to grant funds. So that's a great thing. So other than that, very busy. Obviously, we're starting to look at some year-end things. We'll be greatly appreciative in payroll once that holiday calendar is, worked out, because we need that in place to be able to take care of future payrolls. So we'll be very happy up here when that's done. So thank you.
Thank you, Chuck. I appreciate the assistance for local fire departments. Please ask Molly to reach out to my hometown of Salem. We need all the money we can get. We're in the midst of doing budgets, and sometimes it looks a little ugly.
Okay, we'll do. Also, what she's been trying to work on is have like a group email contact to all the the town administrators, managers, and even the contact for the select board. So when there's major notice of federal funding opportunities, like NOFOs, they call them, another acronym, that she can email those out and she's been working with Layla to have some of these funding opportunities also posted on the county website.
Great, thank you very much. Okay, so that concludes our department head updates. Does anybody have new business that, or old business that they would like to bring up at this time? All right, seeing none, I don't have any. We move to public comment, but we don't have any member of the public attending, so I would say at this point, we are prepared to move into our non-public session. Commissioner Coyle.
Move to enter into non-public pursuant to 91A:3, section 2 regarding personnel.
Second.
Discussion, I suppose there's none. Commissioner Chercello?
Yes.
Commissioner Coyle?
Yes.
And I vote yes, we are in our non-public session. Thank you.
Take a break.
Hello, we have returned from our non-public session, and during that session, Commissioner Coyle had to leave the meeting. So I have Commissioner Chercello here with us, who will offer a motion regarding the non-public sessions.
Okay, I'm going to make a motion to seal the non-public minutes. For topics 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. Indefinitely, because it is determined that to divulge this information would likely affect adversely the reputation of any person other than a member of this board. And on 4, I'm just gonna leave alone. I don't need to seal that. And so that'll be my motion.
All right, I second that motion. Is there any further discussion on this?
No.
Okay, Commissioner Chercello?
Yes.
I vote yes. All right, those motions are sealed.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second, Commissioner Chercello?
Yes.
I vote yes. We are adjourned.
Very good.